On the big Adani verdict of the Supreme Court, I'm joined by top legal eagle, Supreme Court senior advocate, former Attorney General. We have with us Mr. Mukul Rohtagi. Good evening, sir. This Adani verdict today is already the subject of a political conversation. In a sense, the court has reposed its faith, Mr. Rohtagi, in the SEBI. Now, does this amount to an exoneration of the Adani Group completely, in your view?
I think it does, because Adani Group has been saying from the beginning that it has not conducted any dubious transactions or any malfeasance or misfeasance on their behalf. The Supreme Court has upheld the integrity of SEBI. It has upheld the integrity of the committee appointed by the Supreme Court, headed by a retired judge. It has also commented adversely on petitions being filed based on third-party reports which are not verified and which cannot be called evidence. And it has also rejected a transfer of investigation from SEBI to any criminal body like a CBI, etc. So according to me, on all fronts, the Supreme Court has refused to entertain any plea raised by the writ petitioners.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, SEBI is also going to investigate, who made the money due to the short selling after the Hindenburg report. So that also should be a focus, shouldn't it? Because the Adani Group lost a lot of value in this period. It lost
Absolutely.
over 40, 50, 60 billion
Arnab, you are right.
in value in that short period. So what happens there?
Yeah, but see, Arnab, you are absolutely right. I have been saying on different channels that the focus should not only be on Adani as a group. The real focus should be on the shareholders, including the small stakeholders who have invested their life savings in the Adani companies. It is they who have suffered. I mean, Mr. Adani may have suffered loss of reputation, etc., etc. But the real suffering is by the man who feels the pinch. They have lost money because a professional organization whose avowed object is to do short selling, create upheaval in the market and make money, has got away with this. And therefore, we have to wipe a tear from every eye to see that those people who have suffered, there should be some recompense to them. How will that recompense come? The recompense can only come, as you rightly say, by finding out who were the people who made these windfall profits. If they are available in India or are within the reach of the law in India, then certainly the law must go after them, because these are unjustified windfall profits. They are tainted with illegality.
But is that possible? Is it possible to chase that? Because Mr. Rohtagi, in our country, it is said that malicious prosecution is very difficult to achieve. Equally, who would be the party who would do the recompensation here? I mean, Hindenburg cannot be made to pay up. So if the Adani Group or individual shareholders have lost money, who do they go after? I mean, can they go after the political parties who passed this falsehood as the truth? Should they go after the political parties or the specific individuals who are part of a concerted campaign to make the Hindenburg report look, like the last word?
Arnab, I will answer it in two phases. One, the political parties are guilty of highlighting these issues and creating havoc in the market, leading to losses of the shareholders. They are guilty of that, and they have filed petitions or backed these petitions. So first thing, the court should have dismissed these petitions or should have closed these matters by imposing huge costs for filing frivolous PILs which had no basis, spending valuable court time which could be used by a lot of under trials who are suffering in jail. All that time has been lost, and etc., etc. So they should be mulcted with costs so as to provide an adverse scenario for those who indulge in these kind of PILs, which are not public interest litigations but private interest litigations, or if I may use the phrase used by the Supreme Court in some cases as publicity interest litigation. So that is one part. The second part is, as you rightly say, that if Hindenburg is not available in India, then it is very difficult to go after Hindenburg for purposes of recompense. But if there are other parties which are within the reach of the law, who have made these gains which were unauthorized, then one can have an investigation to see if somebody loses, then somebody wins. Who is that person who has won that money in short-term gains? And if they are within the reach of the law, investigation should be done and the matter should be followed to the logical end for purposes of recompense.
That's very, very important, because there has to be some justice at some point. Mr. Mukul Rohtagi, thank you very much for speaking to me and consistently maintaining your stand on this Adani issue, which has been proven to be completely correct. Mukul Rohtagi, it's a pleasure. Thank you, sir.